Hey everybody, this is Steve.
Hey, this is Flippin and Mashing. Oh, this is Parnell.
And this is Flippin and Mashing. Alright everybody. So we have a bunch of updates because obviously we haven't posted in a while. And thank you for your patience.
I thought we were going to be like a once-a-year podcast.
I know, yeah. That's what it was. It's
Maybe
just,
once a quarter.
Yeah, exactly.
That's pushing it.
Bicentennial. We'll just put one out and then that'll be about it.
We got a lot of hate mail because we weren't posting.
I know.
From my mom and Chris.
Well,
the two listeners.
Your mom needs to calm down. That's for sure.
She was wondering. She thought that we had just disappeared off the planet.
Yeah. But life has gotten busy. But at the same time, we have been gaming. We have been having a good time. So we'd like to fill you in on some of what we've been doing, as well as the massive amount of gaming news out there and everything else.
Oof, a lot of it. A lot of updates. We have some big updates.
Right. Do you want to start?
I won the lottery.
Go on.
And I bought Waterworld Pinball.
That's not true. That's not true. But it is close because you got an amazing game.
All right, so I had a big shakeup in my game room.
Right.
If you remember a handful of episodes ago, one of my drain pipes on my gutters, like the elbow fell off, so water just poured in. I got water in the basement, which was the catalyst for my basement being remodeled. So I brought all the games. You helped me bring all the games to work.
Right.
And I had left one game that I left Black Hole at home because it just needed to get touched up, like put back together, and then I could bring it here.
Right.
It sat there for a long time.
Right.
Not being touched.
Right.
I did spend a Saturday or Sunday, a couple hours, and I got it. Everything clean, put back on. The CoinTaker LED kit was put in. It was working. I just never played a game because I didn't put the top plastics on. There's a lot of things that had to get adjusted.
Right.
Like the upper play field wouldn't sit correctly in the cabinet with the lower. So there was some... Then that must have been some stupid... Oh.
What? Oh, yeah. Well, I'm cracking my can right now. I need a little bit of energy here. What do you got?
Yeah, it's the morning. It's like 7 a.m.
It
feels like it.
It's good that it's in the morning.
What do you got?
I got a Kickstart as usual. This one's a blueberry pomegranate. I know. Pomegranate sounds just so floozy. All right.
I also was up really early because babies and dogs were screaming. I got a Monster Zero Energy Ultra. That's backwards. That's dyslexic talking. And it's just the white can, so I don't know what flavor.
Cool tattooed can. All right, go on. So you.
All right, so Black Hole.
Black Hole is all.
I was getting it slowly back together.
Right.
But then it sat for a long time again, and then me and you were talking about making a Facebook group for the Twin Ports, which is where we live, Duluth and Superior.
Right.
And you finally did it.
Mm-hmm.
And then people actually joined. There was a couple people.
I think there's actually there's a decent amount of people.
There's a bunch now. But right away, and then someone posted their game room pics.
Mm-hmm.
And I started commenting on it. I think I even made an account that's like just for pinball. So I don't friend my mom or any family members. She's pissed about it. She holds a grudge.
It's goofy. It's goofy. It's my pinball account. It has nothing to do with you.
Yeah, bunch of old friends. It's like, no, this is pinball. Sorry.
Right.
You can't friend me.
Mm-hmm.
But I finally got pictures of my games and posted them. And all of a sudden, I get a private message from the guy who posted his game room. He's like, do you want to sell your Black Hole? And immediately I was like, yes.
Yes.
This is a project that I don't want to finish.
Now, yeah.
So we worked out a deal. He swung down, picked the game up. I had, oh my God, did I have extra parts? I got all the extra parts, everything boxed up. We worked out a fair, I think it was a fair but really good deal for him.
Uh-huh.
I got a really good price on it when I bought it, so it wasn't like,
sure.
I was just kind of passing it on. And he had even said he wants to keep it. And that helped, right? Where he like says he loves Black Hole and he wants to keep it. It's kind of one of his forever games, which helps. I mean, he could lie to me. That's fine. I mean, I sold it. Mm-hmm. It's gone. It's out of my hands.
How happy are you now that it's off your shoulders?
I only missed it because I never even played one game on it.
Marshall is going to point this out immediately because that's exactly what he's been saying. Is like he's never going to play this game, and you never played this game.
I kind of have played a game, right, where like to test it, where I get the ball in the shooter lane and I play, but I've never played a game with it finished.
Right.
Like I've never played a full 3-ball game.
Mm-hmm.
But that was the thing is now it's a big load off my shoulders. It was a game that I bought because it was cheap, and I love the idea of doing a full restore on it.
Mm-hmm.
I did a lot of the restore, except paint. I cleaned up the cabinet. But it wasn't perfect by any means. I mean, I took all the metal guides off and polished them. I mean, I took the playfields down, took the Mylar off, the pop bumpers and stuff. But, yeah, I don't know. It wasn't a game that I loved. It was just because it was there.
Sure.
So, all of a sudden, I started getting, the new shiny object. And so
what was the new shiny object this time?
I think I talked about it. It was either AC/DC Premium.
Mm-hmm.
Or a Helen modded Pro.
Or like 2 water worlds. Just see that right? Just go on.
Or what was that new one coming out? Monster Bash. I was pretty big on Monster Bash.
Yeah, you were.
But I played the one at Till, and I just kept. I like to come up with ideas on what I want to do, and then sleep on it.
Mm-hmm.
Because then the next day or two, rationale sets in instead of my itchy trigger finger, just buying whatever I want.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I sold out of my checks, so my pinball partner has the full ownership.
The checks is the bubble hockey game.
Yep, sorry, the bubble hockey.
Yeah.
I sold Jokers to Chris. That was my Jokers game, and he picked up for me.
So he bought that.
Yeah, he bought it back.
I guess I didn't realize that he bought that. All right, go on.
So I sold that back to him. He already has a Jokers, and the one I bought the one I bought had a better playfield, but his has a better cabinet. He's going to combine the two into one nice one, and then sell the bad, more worn one at a pretty good price. So I have the potential to buy the cheaper one when he's done, which I'm totally fine with.
Sure.
I still want an 80s game. That would be an alright 80s game, but there's also better ones.
Well, you got a couple in here still.
I got Black Knight.
Yeah.
I haven't finished Black Knight.
You have all the boards, correct?
Yeah.
All the pieces are here, correct?
Yeah, but I gotta find time. And I fly to Orlando this weekend for a week.
I know.
After that, I
think
think I have time.
Am I going to Orlando or no?
I don't think so.
Okay, I was just curious. All right, go on.
I wish you were.
No, I wasn't sure entirely.
Because Big Buck Hunter comes out for the Switch when I'm in Orlando,
Mm-hmm.
and then someone's got to bring me to Best Buy. I gotta go get it.
I've been playing Switch a lot recently.
Hey.
Sorry, I interrupted.
I know. I totally knew that was going to be a bad thing.
Yeah. Go on.
But I have all the crap for the freaking Black Knight.
Yes.
Just gotta find some time. Maybe after Orlando.
Maybe.
I think.
Hopefully. I mean, so Orlando's a big ordeal for our company. So once you are done there might be a drop off for a moment.
I think we'll have a couple weeks of I mean, it's not going to be slow.
Sure.
Because we're gearing up for CES, but it won't be as stressful as it has been lately. Because we're not. We won't be in high gear until mid to end of December again.
Right. So then, in theory, you'll have more time.
Yeah. So maybe I'll be able to.
What about Baywatch? Do we have all the stuff for that?
I have no idea.
Okay, we got to reassess.
Yes. I mean, the boards are in. I just need to.
Isn't there some kind of pin problem? There's like a pin stuck in something.
Oh, that was Black Knight. Baywatch had a bunch of those hacked wires where they just like a random splice. So I have to redo.
Oh, also, I forgot that mine now has a new problem.
No.
Remember the kicker, whatever it is, to try to kick the ball up into the...
Yeah.
I completely forgot that that's broken now.
What do you mean?
Well, I turned it back on, and all of a sudden I started like kicking it. I was like, ah, jeez. So we have to buy a brand new board for the sucker.
So what happened was we bought... we were trying to fix his game cheap. And so we bought...
Right.
We bought a new driver board because we knew that there was some problems with it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that was like... I think the new one was like $70 or $80.
It was like $86, I think.
Then I rebuilt the soundboard, the power supply, maybe one more thing.
Right.
And the power supply is putting out correct voltage. The soundboard was working randomly. But I think the CPU board is freaking toasted. And we didn't kind of find out that the CPU board is a normal problem for almost all of them. Mm-hmm. And no one wants to fix them because they have a spider chip or chips. They're unobtainable chips from that era.
Okay.
79, 80. And so most people, even my board repair guy was just like, no, just buy a new one.
Sure.
So the hard part was we found a new one. It was like 200 or 250. But then that guy from France makes an all-in-one board. So every single board is put into one.
Right.
With all these extra safety precautions in it. So in case a coil locks on and stuff. And that's $300.
I didn't want to put down that money in the beginning because I thought we could build it cheap.
Yeah, exactly.
But now that we're to this point where just for victory's sake, we got to win at this point, I'm willing to just go all the way in just so we've finally won. This machine is now complete in the whole. And then either I can sell it off to one of our friends who is looking into it. Because I can't sell it to him as is. I could, but it's not working properly. It needs to be...
You won't get money out of it unless
if I would have sold this to him like a month ago, fine. But now that it has this issue, we got to fix the board.
I'm thinking we could sell the driver board, the new quote-unquote driver board. Mm-hmm. We'll sell it. You lose a little bit of money on it, but not a big deal. Or, well, I was going to say you could save it.
Nah, I'd sell it.
And
There's no reason to hang on to this extra board.
Then we could just get the all-in-one board, and then, yeah, you're done.
Mm-hmm.
Just be done with it, and then move it on. And, not every game you make money on. Maybe you break even, maybe you make money, maybe you lose a little bit, but, like, you just had a game that you could play for X months at a lease price, right?
And I enjoyed it. I really did enjoy that game quite a bit.
I bought a game.
Yes. I thought that's where this whole entire conversation was heading towards. It just took us a long ways to get here. All right. All right. You got a new game, which was the shiny object that you were chasing down earlier. And it is...
AC/DC Premium Luci Edition Original.
So Luci Edition. What's the difference between Luci Edition and something else?
So there was the original Premium, had all the band members all over the place.
Sure.
And it was just normal AC/DC.
Mm-hmm.
Luci came out as like a rerun of the Premium, but they put like a very voluptuous woman all over it. She's like pink, kind of like a demon almost. Mm-hmm. She's pink with a purple bikini thing on. And she's plastered everywhere. So the back glass, the side cabinets, the playfield, the lower playfield looks like a Satan head or something, a devil head. There's girls in there too.
It's a more sexy machine compared to normal, where it just has like the band members.
Yeah, and I was fine buying a Pro as long as it had the Helen package, which there's a guy, I think he lives out in California. His name is Arik. He's an artist, and he made up like a vinyl graphic that goes over. So the Pro doesn't have a lower playfield; it just has Angus's head where that playfield would be.
Okay.
And it's kind of ugly. So he made a sticker.
Well, Angus is kind of ugly.
Yeah. He made a sticker that fit that spot, but it was his version of a sexy woman, which is named Helen.
Okay.
And I bought that translite. He made a translite, sticker, spinner stuff.
Did you buy the translite before you even bought the game?
Oh, yeah.
You bought this a long time ago, didn't you?
And he got like a cease and desist from Stern. So he stopped making the kits.
Sure.
But I have the translite, and they're selling for big bucks now. Because people want to do this to the Pro.
Yeah.
But that's the only way I'd buy a Pro. Because I wanted it to look good. And you can still find the sticker packs. People will sell, because I think he printed like 4 different versions in the kit that you bought. Mm-hmm. So people were selling off the ones they weren't using. Mm-hmm. But I'm talking one sticker at $200.
Well, either way, you have a much better product now that doesn't need all these stickers. Because you now have the Luci package.
Yep. So I could not find. I found a Pro. I found a Pro local in Minnesota, but it didn't have the Helen kit, so I'd have to find that. And I just wasn't wanting to deal with it. And then the Premium is the only version I've ever played since I've ever played AC/DC. and it has lots of drop targets and a swinging bell and the lower playfield. It's just a lot of game, but it's a little bit more money. And the Luci version is even more money than that, because I could have got a normal premium for a little bit cheaper. But then it's just like, it's a game that I want to keep forever, because it's like, when you fire it up, man, I forgot you haven't played it.
No, I haven't played it.
When you
it's not here at the office.
Yeah, when you get the AC/DC music going, it's just like, yes, it just feels good. It's kind of like Tron. You start it, the music, just it gets you into the world. I love
AC/DC music so much, and that's one of the exact reason why I love Tron so much. Like the Tron game itself, it's got some interesting features to it, but it's the music that just keeps driving you. And having a game with AC/DC music, AC/DC was my young adult life. I love AC/DC music.
Dude, then you're gonna love this game.
I can't wait.
I
can't wait.
I played it the other day, and I was just like, oh, yes. I forgot how good these songs are.
Mm-hmm.
So, a buddy of mine was selling it. We worked out a deal. I met him, grabbed the game, and I didn't have room at home, right? So my basement's demoed. And so, to be nice, my father-in-law, who was helping, I asked my mother-in-law. He was at the cabin,
mm-hmm.
and she was gone too. But I was like, "Hey, can I drop this game off at your house? You guys can borrow it for a while."
Mm-hmm.
She said, "Fine." Well, she was sort of excited. I didn't tell anybody, like not even my wife,
right?
Which may have been a bad idea,
right?
But it was gamer money, so she was just mad that I made a purchase that was this big,
sure,
without maybe letting her know.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
But so I brought the game by myself, I might add, to their house and set it up. It did get stuck in the doorway, and
ripped off some LEDs.
Yeah, when you have a 200-some-pound pinball by yourself,
mm-hmm.
it's not the easiest to move around.
Mm-hmm.
So, they have a walkout basement through the garage like mine.
Mm-hmm.
But when you open the garage door from the garage to the house, it opens up, and it would have fit. But they have a closet door across from that door. And I didn't think about it, but, the head of the game hit both doorknobs. And I was like, oh, damn it. So I had a two-wheel dolly, and I dropped it down, but then the head still was hitting the doorknobs.
It was still too tall.
Yeah, because it's not my two-wheel dolly.
Sure.
Which is low. So I was trying to pull the game off the dolly, but the cross straps on the back between the two handles are welded above the
which
two
is
bars.
Weird. I don't like the fact that that's even a thing.
I would agree. It's kind of messed up. And so what happened was this game was just bling the hell out. It had the under cabinet lighting, and one of those straps. Yeah, one of those straps caught the LED strip, one of them, and just sheared it off. So those don't work anymore. But it has the speaker light kit and the back box lighting kit that changes and lights fucking everywhere. It was way more mods than I would have ever done.
But still,
because I don't care about lights anymore.
I get it, but it's still, you don't want them ripped off.
Well, yeah, they're there, right? I don't want to buy new lights.
Mm-hmm.
They came with it.
Mm-hmm.
I paid for them.
Right.
Which, oh god, did that suck. However, I got the dumb game in the house, set it up, played one game, left because my wife had called. I'm like, where are you? Lots of traffic. So I get home. And we're all fine and dandy, and then she goes to drop our kid off at her mom's house because we were working on the house on Sunday or something.
Sure.
And she saw it.
She saw it.
She was fine with it. She wasn't mad at me, but she was just, like I said, she was mad about me not telling her. It was supposed to be a surprise. I know she likes AC/DC. Her dad likes AC/DC. What the funny part I didn't expect was my mother-in-law is now obsessed with that game.
Oh, she plays it a lot.
Oh yeah, she put her name on it.
Wow.
She on one of the modes.
She put her name on it?
Yeah, one of them. They kind of have names for all these modes, and she got her name on one of those modes. So
wow.
It's not the top 5 list.
Well,
but
still, putting your name on a game, no matter what mode or whatever,
yeah.
is
All of a
hard.
sudden, one morning, I'm getting ready for work, and she's texting me, "Hey, how do you turn the game on?" What? Oh. And I'm like, your right hand, you put it under the front of the cabinet where you're standing, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, how do you get to the lower play field? I like the bell swing. And she's texting me. It's just are you going to go to work or what are you doing?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So she's loving it. It's really cool to see and hear. And I showed her. We went there this last weekend, I played a bunch more games on it, and it refreshed my memory on how fun and like how much I love the music and how all these cool shots. And then I showed her how you can put the game. It's like Metallica when it's just sitting there idle. You can hold the right flipper button and go into jukebox mode. And it looks the DMD, which it came with a color DMD. Oh, so good. It pops up like a radio, and you can tune in like back and forth, and it just plays songs.
Okay.
And I think they're different versions than what's in the game.
Okay.
Like it's live versus in the game is recorded.
Interesting.
So that's pretty neat. She saw that, and then I think her and my father-in-law were playing together. He wants to redo his basement, so it can't stay there forever, but it'll stay there till mine's done, and then we can bring it home. He likes older games, so I'll bring an old EM or solid state to his house.
Does he want one in there?
Yeah.
Okay.
I asked him, and he was like, yeah, but he wants to.
You could put that
play ball
in there, yeah.
That was my thought. Or he has a couple games that he remembers from when he was a kid, and I thought it'd be fun to get one of those. I know. Let's see. I think it was Captain Fantastic, which is Elton John.
Never heard of it.
Oh, yeah. And then Centaur, and there was one more. I don't remember what it was. But funny enough, all the games he remembers were really expensive right now.
Of course.
Yeah, so my pinball purchases might have to stop for a while.
Well, yeah, this one was fairly spendy, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So this one has to be the Holy Grail for a little bit.
A little bit.
Yeah, for a little bit. What games have you been playing? Besides pinball, what video games have you been playing?
Steve?
Yes.
I got all excited about playing, I think, online with you on Switch.
Sure.
And so I've just been playing crap loads of Splatoon. I have played no games. Oh, wait. I have. I picked up Hydro Thunder again.
Yes.
Okay.
So we'll start with the Switch and move over to like Hydro Thunder and stuff.
So you had helped me a bunch. There was a ton of stuff I needed help with. And as a thank you, I got you Splatoon 2.
Yes, and I appreciate it a lot.
It was more for me. It was like buying my wife a bowling ball so that I could use it. But I feel like once you got used to it, you might like the game.
Well, I do now that I switched it out of motion control. And I know that you don't want me to switch out of motion control.
Fine.
But like with my thumbs, I'm way better than trying to aim. Because I was just chaotic, and I was getting used to it, but it was still very dangerous to go in any kind of confrontation with somebody. I saw someone coming at me, and I'd always be like sweating, like, oh, here we go again. But now I'm very confident with my thumbs instead.
I think you're just so used to playing on like Xbox and PlayStation.
Yeah,
it makes sense for you,
right? And that's I know that's what it is, and I maybe could have gotten used to the motion control over time, but it's just I'm so much faster and quicker with my thumbs that the last many games I've been number one on my team. That doesn't mean that we've won very often, but it does mean as a teammate I'm the best on the team,
which is good, because what makes me upset when I play is I don't know, 60% of the time you'll have one teammate that either doesn't like drops out or doesn't do anything.
Sure.
And it's just so frustrating. So as long as your teammates are doing stuff, you can usually win, or at least you're not as frustrated losing. Because you get points, like your guy upgrades even if you lose.
Well, but yeah. So because of that, that's why I keep playing. It's the same with like most games for that matter. Even if you lose, you just keep fighting because you're going to get stuff at the end. But there's been several games where I'm pushing and pushing and pushing, and then you turn around and just see all this paint behind you, like, what is anyone else on my team doing right now?
Yeah.
But then there's other times where like I'm just dying like crazy because they'll have maybe some good assassins essentially on the other team, but we're winning because we have some other people helping carry.
There's so many techniques that I've picked up since the first game. This last weekend, it was funny because I picked it up quick. I had maybe 15 minutes of downtime before I had to do something, and so I pick it up quick. And all those games I played, I was getting just slaughtered until the last 30 seconds, and then I was freaking unstoppable, which is just like, what is wrong with me, right? Mm-hmm. And so I kind of mentioned techniques about you always have the left trigger, so your squid down.
Yeah, I've been doing that.
To shoot and pop up, you just click your right trigger.
Right.
So if you're not firing, you're swimming.
Yep.
And
that is because not many people do that.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe the good people do that, but for the most people that I'm fighting, they don't do that, and it is disorientating for them because they're not used to trying to hunt for you. They just want to look across the playfield and see you.
Yeah.
But if you're underneath the ink, they can't. They just don't look for you.
Oh, I remember Splatoon 2 is so much bigger than the first one. In the first game, me as a mediocre player could be dominant just because there was like lack of Wii U's.
Sure.
Now that the Switch has sold well and Splatoon 2 is big,
There's a lot of people.
there's a lot of people, and what that means is there's a lot of good people.
Right.
And there's a lot of bad people.
Yeah.
But
There's plenty of bad people.
but there's a lot of tricky people out there and I would do this stuff too, and this is where I need to get back into my groomed Splatoon kind of techniques is you can squid up on a wall and just kind of stay there, and you wait, right? Because you know someone's coming, and then you jump out the wall and get them in the back.
There is this one kid I follow on Twitter who's super good, and he uses that paint roller a lot.
Oh, yeah, that roller.
Yeah, no. To me, I feel like it's cheating, but it is what it is. So he uses that big paint roller, and he is just a dominant force. I watch some of his clips that he posts on Twitter all the time, and he's just a wrecking wall. I wish we had him on our team. But.
So the hard part, too, is there's multiple modes, and we should play it together and try a couple of them. Salmon Run is like a horde mode.
Right.
So you get waves of salmon and fish and bad guys and
And
bosses.
I enjoy that mode quite a bit.
I like that because it's teamwork.
Right.
Then there's one called Turf War, which is like your standard team versus team shoot 'em up. But the thing is that at the end of the day, when the round is over, it's about how much ink is put down.
Right. How much of the map have you painted versus them?
However, 90% of the people just want to kill people.
Correct.
Which it helps, but it doesn't matter. I mean, it might get you points, but
it matters in the way that it kicks them back to the spawning point. But
you have to balance painting and killing.
Correct.
I mean, if you had one team member that was really good at killing, sure, have them go and support them with paint.
Right.
Because you have to swim through paint. And if you hit the other team's paint, you slow down and it gets gluggy. And so you need to have a nice balance. And the hard part with Splatoon is that there's no real voice chat. There's the app on your phone. It's clunky as hell. And the only way to do voice chat is to team up in a special lobby with your friends, and then it's just you two.
Which is why we went out and about, and instead of using Nintendo service, we used Xbox service. We used Xbox Live.
I did it from my phone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I didn't realize they added that.
Yeah, and it's clean. It's really nice.
Oh, sure. I mean, we could have had a phone call.
Easily. So, yeah, I had mine plugged into my Xbox itself. So I was running the Nintendo game through the Xbox and was running it through my Xbox headset. So I was able to talk to you just like I was playing an Xbox game.
Yeah. When my game room's done, I probably will do what you did and put the Switch HDMI to the Xbox and the Xbox to the TV. Not only is that going to save me an HDMI running to the TV, but then it allows like the voice chat and stuff like that because everybody I know with the Switch I think also runs an Xbox.
Right.
And I think how you had it was you have your Xbox run the Switch as an app.
Right.
And then you can just be in a party and have your chat going.
Right. Oh, by the way, so I have tested. There was a lot of theories out there, which is all fake news, because I myself was almost half spreading it until I tested it, which is if you run your Nintendo through your Xbox, you can record the content on your Xbox, just like you would your normal Xbox games.
Wait. Are you telling me fake news or real
It's
news?
100% fake news.
Oh,
That is not. It's not possible.
because they don't want you to DVR TV and
Correct.
stuff.
Because when you
Because I was about to say, oh my god, I can Twitch or Mixer my Splatoon.
right, and that's what I attempted. I tested it to find out, and you can't, because what you're doing is when you run that through your Xbox, it's just like if you run your cable TV through your Xbox, and they don't want you to record copyrighted content like that.
Which, understandable.
Yeah.
It is frustrating for that little sliver of I just want to do this, which should be legal, but
Yeah.
but they have to be able to protect themselves.
Mm-hmm.
So the other way for us to stream, because there's no streaming on Nintendo Switch yet, is recorder box, right?
Yeah, you have to run it through. What are those recorder boxes? A capture card. It's called a
Capture, like
card.
a capture card or capture.
Yeah, you have to
box.
run it through a capture card and then run that into a PC. It's an ordeal. It's not going to be
Yeah.
easy, I guess. But it is what it is. I mean, so for right now, I'm just enjoying playing the game instead of worrying about how to stream it.
Yeah. Yeah, me too. Me and you did play pretty late. Was it like midnight on Friday night or something?
Yeah.
God, that was fun. I think I had a really good time. I saw you post on Twitter that you were playing the other night, and I was like, "Oh my god!"
Mm-hmm. I was doing real good, so yeah, I started posting up some pictures. Because that's one thing that you can do with Nintendo Switch is you can take snapshots of your screen real easy with it.
You can take snapshots, and they do link in pretty good to your like Facebook and Twitter.
Right.
So you can always tweet out things.
Right.
Like, usually it's built into the apps. Mm-hmm. So Switch news: Big Buck Hunter Arcade is dropping on October 16th.
Now, this is what's already in existence, right? In the arcades already?
Okay, so I have had a Big Buck Hunter
Right.
arcade unit.
Right.
Me and my wife, on our second date, played Big Buck Hunter, so that's why it was kind of meaningful to me.
Okay.
Not only because it's fun, but it's a party game. I played through it twice, and then I was like, over it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it only got played at parties, hence why I sold it.
Sure.
That's a bunch of like I bought it broken, fixed it, sold it, made money, used that to buy something else.
Right.
But I have a soft spot for Big Buck Hunter. I have it on the Wii, but you have a Wiimote, you don't have a shotgun.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to. They have a PC version of the game, but it's called Big Buck Hunter Open Season. It's like the pre Big Buck Hunter to Big Buck Hunter Pro.
Okay.
So it's very basic, but the same thing. You can play it at home and you can get a real gun. Well,
I was going to say, whenever they make these games, they should make like a mini shotgun.
yeah. So they have the ones where now like it's one box. You plug it into the TV, and
Oh, do they?
they're like $50.
Sure.
And they're kind of cheap.
But yeah, but you
toys.
just plug it right in there real easy and it comes
Yep.
with guns. That's smart.
And I think they work with the LCDs because it has like that Wiimote bar with the IR LEDs.
Sure.
It's a toy. It doesn't.
No, yeah, but it's you get what you wanted out of it. You wanted
It's $50 fucking dollars.
Yeah.
Like what? These people that posting bad reviews is like, what do you expect from a $50 toy?
Mm-hmm.
And you can go buy the arcade. It's 300 some pounds,
Right.
And a couple grand, but
No, you're getting what you wanted out of it. You're getting a Big Buck Hunter in your living room on the fly. Plug it in, to the HDMI.
And it's really for kids.
Yeah.
It's not for someone who wants the arcade experience in their house.
Well, then they can go buy the $2,000 arcade machine. Then.
Well, they could.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm kind of jazzed up about Big Buck Hunter.
Right.
I don't know why,
But
but
no one else knows either.
So
go on. Just go on.
so this game came out of nowhere for me. I didn't know it was coming. What I didn't know is it also is out for other platforms like PlayStation 4, Xbox.
Oh, is it?
I think Steam and now Switch.
Okay.
So this drops October 16th, and I don't know how the controls are. I don't know if it's touchscreen or if it uses the gyroscope in your Joy-Cons.
If I had to put money, I would say that it's gyroscoped.
Because you can play two-player.
I would really put money down to say that it's
I
gyroscoped.
would agree. So I'll go in. Okay, so the game is a chunk of Big Buck Hunter HD. So what is currently in the arcade market, it is a slice of that game.
Why is it not all of it?
It's a good question. I'm assuming they don't want to cut into arcade sales.
Or is it because they wanted to sell DLC?
I'd be fine with DLC.
I bet you that's what it is.
I'm hoping it's DLC because Remember when we played that zombie mode?
Mm-hmm.
I thought it had potential, but the motherfucking rednecks keep jumping in front of your gun and you shoot them and then you die.
Yeah.
I want to play that at home. And I don't want to spend $5,000 on a HD unit just to play that game.
Mm-hmm.
So the game comes with deer, elk, and moose, I think.
Okay.
For the Switch or
Sure.
for the arcade home units. And then it has a handful of the bonus games. And that's it though. But the game in the arcade has all these expansion packs for prehistoric, Duck Dynasty.
They have prehistoric stuff?
Yeah.
Like you're hunting dinosaurs?
like fur dinosaurs.
What?
Like deer-looking elk and stuff. I don't know. I'd have to go look it up. But I remember a prehistoric kit came out.
Like saber-toothed tigers, maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
When you do this, you need to put the keyboard like closer to the mic. That way it's like...
Oh, you'll probably still hear it. Big Buck Hunter. Prehistoric. The Wild New Adventures focuses on a creature called Buckzilla.
Okay, so he's Buckzilla. He is obviously a fake creature
Yeah.
with glowing yellow eyes. His horns are weird.
It's Hunt or Be Hunted and prehistoric proportions. By all that, sounds like a big update.
Okay, so prehistoric is...
It's-
he's a weird made-up creature who's supposed to be from this prehistoric era.
I think so. And then they said it expands on the Irish elk stage. So, yeah, it's not really prehistoric. He looks like a mix of a deer and a water
a monster,
buffalo.
yeah.
Yeah. So it wasn't real, like prehistoric.
I hear you.
But I think they have the ability to do that. That would be kind of neat. They've been pretty good about keeping updates going.
They should add dinosaurs in there sometime. That'd be cool. Hunting raptors and stuff.
Oh, dude, it'd be freaking awesome.
Yeah.
Although, that's Raw Thrills, and they also make the Jurassic Park one. So I don't know if they could, again, cutting into sales. But see, that's the thing, is that Big Buck are in more bars where the Jurassic Park is in arcades. Like
Right.
kids' places.
They're two different environments. You could easily get away with merging them somehow.
Yeah.
Speaking of arcades.
So, well, wait.
Go ahead.
So I'm going to buy this. I'm excited. No one else is.
Well, I'm glad that you're excited about
Maybe we and you can play on my Switch.
it. Sure.
It'll be like the commercial.
Sounds good. Sounds like a good idea. So when does this come out?
October 16th. So I'll be in Orlando. So I think one of us is renting a car. So I'll
Right
run to Best Buy.
around that exact time is also when StarLink comes out. I think it's like October 12th or something
I
like
just
that.
saw a review, Steve, that said StarLink is like No Man's Sky with Star Fox.
But with Star Fighting as well?
No, it just said Star Fox, which is starfighting.
I guess.
But
Either
the thing
way-
is that the update to No Man's Sky pretty much made the game
Playable?
playable.
Right.
So it's not like it's a bad thing to compare. But I
Right.
had said that was what it looked like before.
And yeah, I agree with you. I don't know anyone who's played No Man's Sky because it bombed so heavily off of its opening. But after its many updates, I know I've been told over and over again by IGN and many other gaming review companies out there that it's completely playable, guys. I should totally check it out. And it's like, all right, well, I'll get around to it. Maybe never. But anyways, I'm really excited about StarLink. And I was looking into pre-ordering it yesterday, but then I was deciding in between digital and actual, like going on to like Amazon to get a real not functional.
You should, if
physical
you want
copy.
to get a physical, go to Best Buy and use my Gamer Rewards and save money.
Because one of these places, or maybe all of these places, have like the cool figurines too, and I want one of those. I want the Star Fox figurine.
I think that's one of the only ways to play it.
Is it? So if it's physical, it has to have the StarLink like
Maybe
figurines.
I'm a liar.
I don't know. See, here's the thing. I don't know. The digital edition, because that's what they call it when you try to just download it off of Nintendo's thing. It's plastered, wrote in big letters, digital edition. I don't know what the difference is necessarily, besides the fact that it's digital. I don't know if it comes with different content to try to make up for the fact that there's not physical stuff.
Maybe you're right. I think you can play the game without the physical little ships. But when you buy the physical, there's an edition that adds the ship and that controller holder.
Because that controller holder looks cool, too.
And then you can put those weapons and stuff onto your fake ship.
It looks cool. It looks fun. I want to try this,
you
Jazz.
like Star Fox enough where if you don't order this in 5 years, this will be worth like $1 million, and you can sell it.
I got to.
Hey,
Yeah.
let's spend your money.
Or out of vengeance, my brother might somehow sell this for like $5 to GameStop for all the stuff I sold of his to GameStop.
Yeah.
Did I tell you about that situation with Zelda? I sold his Wind Waker or something like that.
What?
Yeah.
That's not very nice.
well, I think I owned it, first of all. So I know that he played it, but I think I owned it. So he doesn't have too much room to talk. But I didn't like the game because I thought Zelda was stupid. So I sold Wind Waker for like
$1.
like $5 or something. Just
oh my God, you know how much money
really
that thing's
chintzy.
worth now?
And I thought, oh, I'm making a big deal off of this. $5, this is amazing. Like a month later, we walked into GameStop and he was looking at the different games. So he's like, "Come over here real quick." So we walk over to the wall and he's like, "Take a look at this game. Look how much you're selling this game for." It was like $65. So I sold him for like $5, and they flipped it for $65 or something. Just outrageous. And I just kind of looked at him like, sorry. It's like, he was just livid. He was super pissed. He's still pissed to this day about it.
Good.
But
I hope he gets reminded by this podcast when he listens to it.
this is just going to help enrage him that much more. But anyways, the physical copy of StarLink looks really cool. I'm curious if the digital edition gives you extra stuff. Who cares? You can buy it. You can always buy extra stuff.
I don't think it does give you extra stuff. But I think the physical, when it comes with the plane, is the special edition.
It probably costs more.
It's $75. So it's like $15 for.
There's a digital edition for like $80.
Maybe they ship you
I don't know, man.
starter edition.
Either way, who cares? I'll look at this stuff in one offline here.
Looks like physical.
It's $80. This
What do you get?
Battle for Atlantis Deluxe Edition.
Oh, I wonder if it just has all the DLCs built in then.
Probably.
But no ship. I'd rather have the ship.
No, for sure. Because here's the thing: you can always buy DLC afterwards, and you can't always buy this.
Well, exactly. And then like
physical package.
I don't think this game's been out before, so it's not like I know these people.
I love how all of the pictures have Star Fox in it.
Dude, they're pushing it hard. It's a moneymaker for them. Because people like you who are obsessed with Star Fox.
Well, that's why I'm buying the game, is because I want to play with Star Fox.
So,
plus the new trailer. Holy balls, that's loud. Plus the new trailer, it's all about Star Fox. It has like Star Fox talking back and forth with this whole team. Star Wolf is talking even. They bring in a lot of people. This is a Star Fox like edition, a game.
Yeah. Well, it's good they do that because it's a new IP and Star Fox kind of was successful but bombed on the Wii U, so it'd be a good game to get more people in.
I feel like it's because the Wii U itself bombed.
It did, but a lot of complaints were the graphics weren't that good, and it looks like an old Star Fox just redone.
What Star Fox was that? I'm just curious.
I don't remember the name of it.
I was just wondering.
I have it at home.
And it's on the Wii U, and that's it.
Yeah, and it came with like this tower defense Star Fox game.
Interesting. Never even heard of that one.
Yeah. Well, I liked it. I didn't play it much, but
I'll have to look into it.
Speaking of Switch, did you buy the online experience thing, and they call it, so you can play games online?
You don't have to buy that. Oh yeah, you do have to buy that. $20.
$20 for a year.
Yeah.
But then it gives you access to play games online, multiplayer, and there's like a virtual like classic game store.
Right. So you get to play all the old like Mario games and stuff like that, which is good. So that in and of itself is worth $20. All those old games.
It's $20 a year. So yeah,
right.
Totally.
So that's why I really wasn't worried about it. Like when they gave you all these old classic games, it's like, okay, well, if I was to buy this old classic like bundle pack, that would easily be $20. So who cares about this price tag? So I'm going to be able to play online now. Now with that said, up to this point in history, we've been able to play online
on Switch or on Nintendo consoles,
right, without having to pay
for free.
Right. Okay. So I wanted to clarify with you right now. Up till now, like we're getting the same thing we were getting before, just at price tag now.
Yes. However, I will say they did preface this when they released the Switch, they said the online service is coming. We are giving you free online play until then.
Sure.
So it's not like they hid it. This isn't a surprise. I saw someone on one of these forums freak out about it, and I was like, if you ever paid attention to the Switch, this has been known since release of the Switch.
Sure.
They've always been very straightforward with, it's free for you now, like a test, until the online service starts.
And that's fine. That is fine.
It's
I was just
$20 fucking a year. It's
when,
like
when I was hovering
five coffees.
Right. When I was hovering my thumb over the button, I was like, what am I buying right now? Am I buying access to the stuff I've already been doing? And that is the case. They're just shutting it off because they're finally actually trying to say, right, we tested this out basically in beta. Now we're actually going to run this for real, and it's going to cost money.
And it makes sense because like Xbox and PlayStation to keep those services running costs money.
A lot of money.
Now I know Nintendo is rich as shit, but at the same time, nothing in this world is free, and
No.
$20 a year is cheaper than everybody else's stuff.
Well, I mean, I play for Xbox Live, and Xbox Live is $10 a month. $10, so significantly more.
Speaking of the online service for Switch, a bunch of NES games are in that bundle now.
Mm-hmm.
They released Bluetooth little controllers like that can dock on the Joy-Con slides, and so those are pre-order. So I bought those.
Yeah. I don't like how they fit on the console
They're
itself.
just there to charge.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, they look good once they're undocked because they're the old classic
With no wire.
Oh yeah, I forget. Yeah, that's true. So they're wireless old NES controllers. They're really cool looking.
It's so awesome.
I feel like they look goofy once they're docked to it, but that's because, like you said, you can't even really play with them the way that they're designed.
No, yeah, someone mentioned that, and I was like, no, that's just a charge. You're never going to be able to play it.
But they keep showing pictures of it, like
with the charging.
And I keep looking at it like that is the goofiest looking setup. But that's because
they make like charge stands for Joy-Cons and stuff.
Sure.
So
they just need to stop showing that picture with it like docked on there, because I feel like when I first saw that I was like, how am I supposed to be able to play with those buttons in that configuration? And it's because you can't. They're just supposed to be charging there.
Well, we are dumb Americans. So.
Yeah. Well, I was confused looking at it. Yeah.
I can play 2-player with myself.
Also, okay, so StarLink comes out the same day as Buck Hunter.
Yep.
And then
I'll buy
next
Buck
month-
Hunter. You buy StarLink.
Yeah, I will.
And then we'll play each other's games.
That
And if the game's good enough, I'll fake buy StarLink.
There we go. There we go. Next month.
Oops! Ouch.
Is another big set of games that I'm excited for, which is Diablo 3.
Oh shit!
Right, and Warframe.
Oh,
So both of those.
What about Smash Brothers?
I don't really know too much about that. I know there's a lot of news about it, and I keep sharing it, to be honest, without reading it. I don't know too much about it.
December 7th.
Oh, that's 2 months away.
When's the Switch? When's Diablo 3? I thought they
Smash
were...
Brothers is one of those things that was announced so early that it's one of those just perpetual stories that will eventually happen. So
I'm being told December 20th for Diablo.
No. It's the very beginning of November.
November 2nd.
Yeah.
Oh shit! Just after Halloween.
Right. So the very beginning.
The hype is real.
Yeah. The very beginning of November is Diablo, and the very end of November is Warframe. For free.
Oh yeah, Warframe is like the free.
Correct.
Okay.
Another free game that I just downloaded that just came out was Arena of Valor, which is a good whatever Dota is called, whatever that gameplay.
Is it for Switch or phone?
For both.
Oh.
I have it on my Razer phone, which is, again, a new update. Is I got a Razer phone, so I can play better online games on my phone. And I love it a lot.
That's because it's huge and the battery's big.
Yes, I don't have to worry about running out of battery.
Diablo 3 I'm super hyped for. However, I'll buy it, but maybe I won't play right away. I want to get Splatoon in a bunch. Splatfest starts in 10 days, where it's Halloween themed. That's exciting.
I think it's weird that they announced Splatfest so early.
I would agree. This one is way earlier than usual.
Because I feel like Destiny doesn't do that. Destiny, if they have an event coming up, they might give you like a teaser, like, hey, Valentine's Day is coming up, so we got an event coming up. But they don't like push it hard. Then all of a sudden, like the week of, they ramp it up and then it releases. You know what I mean? Whereas here they released this information like a month early.
Yeah, I got excited and I put the shirt on, like, because when you pick Trick or Treat, you like get the shirt for your Splatfest.
Right.
And then I'm thinking that night we were playing, I was like, oh, at midnight the Splatfest will start because it usually is on a weekend.
Sure.
And then you wear your shirt because as you play it upgrades and you get abilities. But then the Splatfest didn't happen.
Mm-hmm.
And then I played the next morning thinking it was Splatfest still, or started, still nothing. And so I finally Googled it and I was like,
it's way out.
fucking October 19th?
Yeah.
You kidding? This is going to be forever. But my shirt is almost fully upgraded.
That's cool.
What about yours? Did you put it on?
It's on. I don't even know where to look to find out if it's upgradable or what.
Like when you finish a game, it'll pop up and it will like show you your shirt and like a new ability will be like a casino thing.
Do I have to activate something? Or does it do it by
No,
itself?
you just wear it,
Okay.
and as you get more points, it goes up.
All right, then it's probably happening. I'm just not paying attention to it. What other games are you playing?
Oh, Hydro Thunder.
Yeah.
So I haven't played Hydro Thunder for like 6 or 8 months,
Right.
but someone on the YouTube commented on one of my videos that they wanted to see more. And so I was like, oh, okay. But they wanted to see Hydro Thunder Go, so the mobile phone, Windows Phone version.
Mm-hmm.
So I got my Windows laptop back out because I hooked my phone to my laptop. And through Windows, it can do the screen share and record. And then I just push that to a file or mixer and then YouTube.
Yeah.
So I got all my stuff up at work last week. And I plugged my phone in. And the screen wasn't showing up on the computer.
And it wasn't showing up anywhere. You kept trying it multiple places and it
I
wasn't
went to
working.
a bunch of people's computers.
Right.
And I went to yours and another
Mm-hmm.
person's and still wouldn't work. So I was like, what the shit? Finally, we started Googling it, found out there was a Windows update that broke it. There's an app called Screen Projector app or something.
Sure.
Project My Screen.
Sure.
And that's the app that connects the phone to the laptop
Mm-hmm.
with a cord.
Right.
There's a way to do it wirelessly through the Wi-Fi, but it's laggy as hell. So it wouldn't work good on Hydro Thunder.
Right. So it obviously broke it so it could do something else instead.
Yeah, and I don't know if it's because the Share My Screen or Project My Screen app is years old. I think it's from 2016.
But
So
you think they'd put out some kind of updated one?
maybe they don't even know. But when you Google it, there's a bunch of people who use that and still have. I didn't realize Windows Phone was still big in the little world that is Windows Phone.
Correct.
At any rate, they were complaining
Because
too.
the people who love it
love
want to keep it.
Yeah, and they use this like for presentations and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So they were complaining too, and it turns out Windows Update 1809 build, which is like a spring update that came out in April of 2018,
Yeah.
breaks it. So I found my little restore USB from when I got my laptop, restored it way back, and now it works. But now I have to just keep Windows updates off my laptop,
Mm-hmm.
which, if you know Windows 10, they shove them down your throat.
Yes.
So we'll see how long this lasts.
Yeah. Because I feel like eventually it's going to leak through and take over.
But I'm streaming again. I recorded a couple of videos and I put them on YouTube. And then I had another person comment like, oh, I want more.
Mhm.
It's like, holy smokes, there's a freaking market for this?
Yeah.
So what I'll probably do is,
And some of your videos have a lot of views on them.
yeah, like odd. Like 50 views on one
I know.
Go, Hydro Thunder Go.
That's what I thought too. Yeah, almost 60 views on this one Hydro Thunder Go. It's like, who's watching this Hydro Thunder Go?
Yeah, it's like it's a phone game. So what I think I'm going to do is, because my Go is a cloud save linked to my Xbox, like Hotmail, like my Microsoft account.
Sure.
I wanted to delete everything and start again, but they kind of don't let you. You'd have to make a new account.
Mm-hmm.
So what I'll do is I'll just replay the game from start to finish, with the first playthrough will be with all the normal boats that you would have fresh.
Mm-hmm.
And then because then you unlock these new special boats. And then I'll go back and gold everything. So that there's at least videos on YouTube of every level being 100%ed. Which I think will be fun. Because that doesn't exist right now. This is one of those games where I think it's actually a really good game mobile. But no one really recorded it. Windows Phone kind of... Well, this app made it really handy to record and stuff, but Windows Phone just wasn't that big, but somehow people still want to see this. And then once my Xbox gets put back up, I'll get Hydro Thunder Hurricane going. The bad news is that playing Hydro Thunder and people talking about it got me real fired up about Hydro Thunder again.
Yeah, I know. You had a boner for it pretty much for the last week.
I started looking at buying the arcade unit again.
Did you really?
I didn't buy one, but I got.
How much is it? How much is an arcade unit?
The stand-up can be about $800.
Screw the stand-up. Nobody wants to stand up.
Well, it's the only way it's gonna fit in my house.
How much is a sit-down unit?
You can get them from like $400 to $800.
And these are H2 overdrives.
No, Hydro Thunder, the original Hydro Thunder from 1999. H2 overdrive is easily, like $3 to $5 grand.
Okay. All right, I'm with you. At the same time, how much is Tron right now?
What, my Tron or just Tron?
Your Tron.
I don't know. Probably get $5 or something.
See that right there? That's almost 2 side-by-side units right there. Sit-down side-by-side units for a game that you love, but at the same time, never play.
But I would beat H2 Overdrive once and then never play it again.
We're talking about side-by-side units. This is a party game now.
Again, how often do I have parties? Once a year? Twice a year? I am going to keep a lookout. I have a guy I know that's an operator, and so he gave me a price quote a little while ago on H2 Overdrive, and it was really good. And so I'm like, kind of thinking I'm
sit down or stand up.
H2 Overdrive is a sit down only. The only option is I think it's a 32-inch screen or a 42-inch screen. That's the only options on H2 Overdrive. On the Hydro Thunder, the original 99.
I wonder if the guys who have the games in Venture Zone are willing to sell their games.
Yeah, that was my next question was, I wonder if I can get some banged up ones.
Because those have been in use a long time. They made their money off them a long time ago.
Just think, those games are old.
Yeah.
Like, they stopped making them.
And they're putting in a lot of new games in there.
They still make tons of money.
Off of us. But yeah,
I haven't even been down there recently.
That's true. But they've been in there for a long time, and they've recently put in a lot of new games, which I think is really cool that they're continuing to update and put in new stuff. But Hydro or H2 Overdrive has continued to sit there, so it's clearly still making plenty of money.
Yeah, but theirs are pretty banged up. Like the throttle didn't work on one of them, and the rumble stopped on one. But
that's maintenance. Somebody needs to be looking at them to take care of them.
Yeah.
And
for sure.
the people who work there don't it's not my machines. I don't
leased.
care. Right. It's people who bring them in. They don't work there, so they don't actually see them break until next time that they're around.
Yeah.
I think if they had just regular maintenance on it, it'd be just fine.
I would love them. H2 Overdrive is a spiritual successor to the original Hydro Thunder, but with the upgraded, like, there's bolt upgrades and pin to save your progress and a handful of cool tracks. But you almost can't get first place until you upgrade your boats, which is why they have the pin thing and the saves.
Mm-hmm.
So for me to play it in a location, I'd have to bring
tons of money,
40, 50, 100 bucks,
Correct.
and make some progress.
Oh, yeah.
But that's the other thing too is you can't experience, like, what I would do in the Hydro Thunder Hurricane was I would start a race and then I'd just drive slow around the track trying to find all of the secrets.
Sure.
Well, they also did it right in Hurricane where they had, like, the packages you'd pick up and all the specials and secrets. And I mean, it was made for a home console.
Mm.
So what I want to do is I want to start streaming and yelling at Microsoft to get that Project My Screen app fixed. And
They probably will. They do a pretty good job of fixing stuff, I feel like.
God, do I want another Hydro Thunder? They
probably, honestly, I think
They
you're
own
right.
it.
They probably don't even know that it's broken.
Yeah, maybe
Because
not.
people don't use the Windows Phone anymore.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they dropped. They have updates going to the Windows Phone. I got one last week. They have it going till the end of 2018 or 19.
That's good. That's good. Because I mean, they just had their big Microsoft keynote speech.
Yeah.
And they have so much work going into mobile, and it has everything to do with Android and
iOS.
iOS that it's felt like they've just completely given up on the Windows OS, but they have just said, all right, don't worry about it. We lost the war when it came to actual phones. We will win the war when it comes to phone software. We're going to come out with all the coolest, newest, neatest stuff. We'll use your phones to put our stuff on.
They own Hydro Thunder license. I want another one.
Someone needs to bring that up to them, too. They actually own a lot of licensing for like mobile games that are exclusive to the Windows Phone.
Like Halo, that one.
Right, because they have 2 Halo games that are exclusively on the Windows Phone.
Oh, seriously?
Mm-hmm.
You know what the other shitty part is? I was like, hey, okay, if I don't have a Windows Phone, can I still play the games? Because I don't mind paying for these games. But guess what? The emulator that they have so you can make your own apps doesn't allow the App Store because you can't register your device to Windows.
Oh, now that I think about it, I don't think they're exclusively on the Windows Phone. They're on the Windows platform. So you can like have like a tablet.
Okay.
That would work.
Well, that's the thing is, I can't, if my Windows Phone breaks, like I have to go find another Windows Phone or maybe there's a special, it has to be a Windows Mobile 10. You can't get like a Raspberry Pi with Windows IoT on it. It has to be a Windows Mobile platform. So I found a list this weekend when I was Googling, and I think there's a handful of tablets, but they've stopped making that stuff. They're all done. So I have to go like...
They don't make tablets?
No. Windows Mobile...
Oh, because they've moved into the Surface, and the Surface is like a half laptop.
Yeah, and that's full Windows, though, so that's not Windows Mobile.
Right.
So to continue playing these games, which, like again, Hydro Thunder Go is exclusive to Windows Mobile.
Sure.
All they gotta do is port that shit to normal Windows.
Or just Android.
Oh, yeah, hell, Android.
They could easily just sell it off to the Play Store.
Like $5. I bought it when I had my first Windows Phone on Sprint years and years ago.
Or sell it back to who are the makers again?
Well, Midway's shut down. That's who originally made Hydro Thunder.
Who owns it now? Does anyone own it now?
Microsoft Studios.
No, I mean, like, so how about this? Who's making Riptide is what I meant to say.
Vector Unit. They made a Hydro Thunder Hurricane, but under license of Microsoft's Hydro Thunder.
So what if they just sold it back to
Well, they don't have to sell it. They just have to say, Vector Unit, go make another Hydro
Okay,
Which
sure.
they fucking should. Because the Riptide series is good in its own right, but not...
Right. Right.
Oh, I just want to say, the phone I play Hydro Thunder on is Microsoft's Nokia Lumia 650.
It's a nice phone. It's a really nice phone that has a dock that you can plug in and make everything like...
I didn't realize they had this dock thing where you plug in the one plug and you get a keyboard, mouse, monitor.
Oh, see, I thought you did know that.
You had mentioned it a bit ago.
Back in the day.
And then I actually saw the kit.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the 950 is even faster or something.
It's supposed to pretend to be a full-blown Windows unit.
The cool thing is it's like you get to work, you plug in your phone, you work, you unplug your phone, you leave, and you still have all your crap.
Right. That was the design factor. That's why I wanted it back in the day.
That's why I want it now. So I'm thinking about finding another device. Maybe a tablet. It'd be nice to have a tablet, but there's an HP Elite V3 or something phone that is the big hype train of the Windows. I still love the Windows Phone, like the phone itself, like the tile system and all that, because you can make your front homepage the way you want.
No, the OS is beautiful. The OS is
very basic. It's very fun. It's
correct.
just like a shit app store.
It's easily the best, in my opinion. It's my favorite OS, bar none. But it is the limitations that App Store has.
Yeah, all I wanted was a handful of apps. My bank and a couple little things. I don't game on my phone much. And the only game I really play is the Nintendo ones and Hydro Thunder.
So one issue that I had was it didn't have the games I wanted, but it didn't have the trinket apps like Taco Bell or Nickelodeon or even like YouTube. YouTube was a knockoff.
The thing is that they released a tool that would port Android apps to Windows.
Yeah, but that was a difficult...
It was too big, too late.
Right.
All right, so you have a new phone. You have been a streaming monster, just gaming like crazy on this thing.
Right, so I got the new Razer phone. Now they have a newer one coming out, which means they dropped the price for my phone down so they could offload them.
Which, if you see the specs on this phone, it has to be the cheapest, fastest, powerful Android phone on the market.
In my opinion. I mean, yeah, because...
8 gigs of RAM.
Right.
The screen is huge.
The next, probably most compatible phone would probably be the Note 9. The Note 9 is this huge, massive beast, but it cost $1,000. Whereas this, I got it for $400, I think.
400 or 500.
Yeah.
We bought one for the office because I was like, holy smokes.
Right. Did you also get it for like $400 or $500?
Yeah, okay. I bought it right from Razer. Yeah,
okay.
From Razer, they discounted it, and the new one's coming at. The new one looks the same, but I don't know what the specs are. But
right,
these specs are massive.
Right, in theory, I think Android. It has a much better camera. I think that's what it's supposed to have. Yeah. So go ahead.
I've only had Galaxies, and I just dislike the hell out of the keyboards. And I've tried different keyboards like Google's instead of Samsung's. It doesn't. It feels like the screen doesn't pick up my thumb as well as the iPhone did. But now my iPhone is now not recognizing key presses like it used to. So I mistype all the time now. It's on the edge, or I'll hit back or space or period instead of something else. It is becoming highly irritating. And I'm not tied to a certain platform. My iPhone just works, so I just keep it.
Sure.
I don't buy a lot of apps or music or anything so that I'm tied to it. So I would go with an Android, and that would this would be the phone I would get.
Yeah, I use Google's keyboard a lot, and I'm always using the swipe to text.
I like when they allow you to do both, swipe or tap.
Yeah.
Because then it sometimes when I had swipe enabled, I would get sick of swiping, and I'd want to tap, but then it would just work like crap.
Yeah, well, I guess as far as I've ever known, swipe, you don't have to swipe it all the time. You can type and tap. Or type and swipe.
You can, but when it first came out, that keyboard, I didn't like the keyboard.
Sure.
But I would swipe, and then I'd want to go back to the Google keyboard, and it was just like a cluster.
Sure, I hear you. But anyways, so with this phone, this has a huge amount of RAM. It has these big dual speakers on both sides. Has no buttons on the edges. The buttons are in the middle, so your hands don't bump any of like the back buttons or anything like that, or like the volume. And it is one of the most fun phones I've ever seen, and definitely that I've ever owned and used.
It is the only gaming phone on the market because Asus announced one.
Correct.
And they haven't released it.
Correct. I mean, Galaxy now, I just saw a commercial, and they are literally marketing themselves as a gaming phone now. It says made for gaming, and it's like, come on now. It has a stylus. This is definitely a business phone, but either way.
But the only phone they were marketing for gaming was the Note.
Correct.
Which is huge with the stylus.
Right.
But are the buttons in the way? I mean, it's not like made...
Right. Whereas this is actually specifically designed by gamers for gamers.
Yeah. The Note 9, the only reason why it's for gaming...
is because it's powerful.
Quote, no. Well, maybe, but... it's because they teamed up with Fortnite to do that
there you go.
Stupid DLC pack.
Very good point. Yeah. So, yeah, one is massively powerful, and then they shook hands with Fortnite, so then as a result, they're like, oh, we're a gaming phone too. No, you're a phone that shook hands with Fortnite.
Yep, you got a big screen, that's the only reason why.
Right. So either way, this sucker here, it's got some cool features on it. Like, for instance, it's got this thing called Game Boost.
Is this the one you can... Oh, go ahead.
So, for instance, you can add different games in it, and whenever you open that game, it automatically shoots the resolution all the way up,
Okay, so like this phone has up to... is it 140 hertz screen?
Correct. No, 120 hertz.
120 hertz screen.
Yeah, that's your refresh rate. So that you can have this very clean, smooth refresh rate, as well as it has 2K, not 4K, but
well, it's a freaking phone screen.
Right.
But those settings also bump up the CPU and all that, so that when you're not gaming, it's in power save mode.
Correct.
And without having to change your phone settings, you just click the game,
Right.
the phone knows we're going to gaming mode.
Yeah.
And it just unleashes all the power. And you showed me a couple of games. Even like Paladins looks so much better. They add way more details to this version.
Right. And in the process of trying to find new games, I found a game called Age of Magic, and it is one of the most beautiful games that I've seen in a long time, at least for mobile. I'm not talking about for like, the Xbox. But for mobile, it's one of the most beautiful games I've seen. And it has kind of like some gyroscopes. When you move it up and down, it has like a 3D kind of look.
Oh, I like moves. Is that RPG game?
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like Final Fantasy.
Right. And with so I tested it with Game Boost off and with Game Boost on to see what the difference would be. Like, for instance, if I was using my old Galaxy versus like the current one, and it was just a dramatic difference.
Oh, seriously?
One, the graphics went down. Two, because of the graphics that it's trying to pull from this game, it became sluggish, and I could tell in a hurry like this is what my phone would have been. Because I know what my phone was acting like back in the when I had the Galaxy. I had to have it sitting on a tray of ice to try to keep it cool. Whereas like this baby is able to handle so much more, and I love it for that reason. And then also it can handle the multitasking of streaming directly from it as well as gaming.
Yeah, so Steve likes to have Twitch running in the background or Mixer. And then doing a live stream of the game he's playing, which is neat how they do it because. You're playing and then like messages pop up or text or people can voice talk at you.
So like I can wirelessly, game and stream all off of it. I don't have to have it plugged into
power.
Well, I wasn't going to say power, a PC to try to help pull it off of it. Mixer has done a really good job of making an app. And you can do this on any Android. It's probably iOS as well. So Mixer they've updated their app recently. So before, I didn't think that its content was very clear, whereas now
we had problems
beautiful.
when we streamed Hydro Thunder together, and then me by myself.
Right,
it was clear at the time, but then when I would rewatch my video to download and put on YouTube,
it was garbage.
It was grainy as heck.
Right,
and it would go in and out.
Right, and now it
sounds like.
It's beautiful. They fixed all those issues for sure.
Have you streamed on Xbox again, though?
No.
Because maybe the phone's resolution is enough for them to keep up. But we'll have to try Xbox.
For sure. But either way, the phone-wise, at least, the app on the phone is perfect. And I feel like if that's good, it's got to be good on the main systems as well, like the actual console systems.
Don't make an ass out of me by assuming.
Good point. Either way, I really enjoyed my time streaming through it, playing the games, streaming through there, talking with people through the streaming app. It's just such a smooth, clean, awesome way to play. I love it.
That's great. I'm not huge into mobile gaming, but when when I streamed earlier this year, I was kind of excited about it, and then we got busy and I forgot. And it gets you so excited again when people are asking or talking to you while you're streaming.
Mm-hmm.
It gives you validation that what you're doing is worth your time.
Right.
So when you have people posting comments on it, "Oh, stream more," or they're asking you what are you playing on?
Mm-hmm.
Stuff like that. It gets you excited again and keeps you going.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. I wish, because of how good their app is on the phone, I wish Mixer would try to make one for the Switch as well.
Oh, totally.
It would be awesome.
When you dock it, you could have it running. I mean, it'll get hot, but that's what the dock and the power increases for, right? For the fans to kick in and all that.
Right. And
or you could even release. They could make their own capture box, like a Roku, with input and output of HDMI, and so any console could be plugged in and they could stream.
It'd be a physical device, but people would definitely buy it.
Well, all you gotta do is put Mixer on it, and then say any console can connect via HDMI.
Or if they had an attachment that had a camera, because the Nintendo doesn't have a camera, that you could snap on. That might also be helpful.
Yeah. Oh yeah. People like to watch people who.
Now you don't have to have a camera, but that might also be able to have it all integrated in there. Might be able to have more functionality because of that.
There's a lot of people that want to stream their face while they're playing. I mean, that's a thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's how Twitch is pretty big on it.
Right.
Oh, I assume Mixer is too. I have an Xbox camera, but I've never really used it.
Right. All right. Well, I'll tell you what. Should we wrap it up there?
Yeah.
Okay. Everybody, until next time, go ahead and check out our Facebook. We're always putting up new gaming content and news on there, as well as you can find our latest podcast at PodBean. Just search for Flippin' and Mashing. And also from there, once you find our site on Flippin' and Mashing, you can find all of our personal Twitters and other social media accounts.
YouTube's on there?
We have YouTube on there.
I forgot to mention Hydro Thunder on Reddit.
Mm-hmm.
I started posting all my shit in there. No one's in there, but I just started posting all my streams from YouTube and stuff in there.
Maybe that's... Okay, did you just start doing that?
Yeah, like the other day.
Okay, because I was going to say, maybe that's where all your views are coming from.
I don't know.
Well, either way, they'll probably definitely jump now.
But no one's commented on my Reddit stuff. But
either way,
I'm just gonna keep posting crap, and I'm gonna try to take it over. Mm-hmm. It's gonna be my subreddit.
Perfect. All right. Well, again, until next time, guys. See you later.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.